welcome to the Not Superheroes Gets Dads podcast. No, we can't fly. No, we can't shoot lasers or pick up giant buildings. But what we can do is help set the foundations for our families, be present for our kids, and combat generational cycles. On this podcast, we dive into everything dad related, from the struggles we deal with as fathers to what our favorite thing to barbecue is. Hello, I'm Sean Laurie. Hope you guys are doing amazing today, having a blessed day. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend. Again, I appreciate the support, the feedback. Man, it means so much to me, guys. And so, with that being said, I have a special guest, actually, the man that helped get me into the home I'm into now, is Wes. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, bro. How you doing? I didn't even get to ask, man. How you enjoying the home? You have the setup in that big old loft den of yours?
Yeah, man. It's a office slash workout room slash playroom. So
Big enough.
it serves many things, man. So it's definitely a blessing for sure. But yeah, no, we're getting it together, man. We're getting it together
That's
for
good,
sure.
man. It's good.
So what I like to do, man, I like to always do icebreakers. That's my thing. And so obviously, as I mentioned to y'all listening, watching, you do real estate. So I wanted to ask you, bro, an icebreaker. And so since you know different homes, since you know different things like that, but you are a parent as well, if you had to say, I guess, your parenting style, equal that to a home, right? Like, if you had to put your parenting style as a type of house, what kind of home would it be? Would it be a condo? Would it be a fixer-upper? Would it be a high-rise? Would it be a bungalow? Like, what have you had to, like, put it in that type of...
That's a tough one.
I know.
I mean, I guess I would just...
Cookie cutter? That's another one.
Like
right?
an old school... like an old school ranch style house, I guess, where you just got a strong foundation. It's old, it's well built. You know, those old homes that are 120 years old. I mean, in all honesty, they're not building homes like that anymore that are going to last 150, 200 years. So I would say my style is the old style, where you're made of solid cedar wood and all that, like just strong foundation, strongly built home.
I like that, man. Actually, now you just made me think. Why is that? Right? Because there's someone probably listening, like, hey, I do love those homes. Obviously, you could still get them, but they don't build those new homes like that anymore. Why is that? Is it just because of price? Is it because?
I mean, just the price overall for the material and all that. You know, they're called craftsmen's, like the old school, but just material's different, bro. Like insulation is different. Everything's just different from 150 years ago. It didn't cost that much to build a home. Obviously, the cost of living was way different, but yeah, the materials, just like look at the cars from the 60s. You know what I mean? They're built different, so they're not like the same cars now. So it's the same thing. I think there was like a study done, like if your home caught on fire back in the day, you had like X amount of time. I'm just gonna use a random time frame. Like let's say you had, I don't know, 7 minutes to get out of the home. Now you have about 2.
Dang.
Yeah, it's a lot faster. Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't matter what home it is. They're all coming from the same material. So that's a lot of people have different thoughts about, like, oh, well, I'm gonna buy this builder or that builder. It's all coming from the same place, bro. It's just a matter of customization, really.
Got you. Okay. And obviously, I can't remember. I think you have a son, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got a son. He's 3.5 years old. He's not here right now. He's at his cousin's, but they're always hanging out, and they hung out every day for summer. They went back to school 2 days ago. He was missing them, so he went over for a little bit before they went to
That's
bed.
dope, man. That's dope. So I want to ask you because, by, I guess, quote unquote, society wise, right? Like you kind of started quote unquote late, right? Later in life or whatever like that. But what inspired, well, one, I would say that's not even a bad thing, especially I feel like now, I don't think it's a bad thing to, wait and do whatever it is you want to do. But what inspired that decision for you to wait, until basically 3 years ago to decide to expand your family?
Yeah, man. So growing up, man, I didn't really want any kids at all. Like, I was the dude that I said everything I do in my life is kind of planned, and I always said I was gonna have kids. If I wasn't have kids when I was 35 or later, I didn't want any kids young. But then I had decided when I was a teenager that I didn't want any kids because I had a lot of people I knew that were, teenage parents, and then as we got older, a little bit older, it was hard for them. So I just decided I didn't want any because of the fact that I knew that my life would change drastically. Yeah. And I was selfish. I didn't want my life to change, but I met my wife when we were 19, and she said by the time that she was, I think, 25, she wanted 3 kids, this and that, but she didn't really understand because she came from a big family. I told her, nah, let's wait, let's see, let me show you. She had never been on a plane before or anything like that, so we started taking trips around the world, doing this, vacations, and that went out the window. But as we got older, I knew that she always wanted kids, and then we just got not necessarily tired of doing all that stuff, but you get older, it gets a little old, people start having their kids, now you're going on vacation by, like not as big groups anymore, the groups get smaller as people have kids. And before we knew it, man, we got tired of going out. Fridays and Saturdays were just not the same, so we're like, we need to settle down. We got everything, we just don't have that one piece, and little do we know that we're missing that piece. Like, you don't know you're missing the piece until you got it. You're like, damn, this is like makes everything complete.
Yeah, that's dope, man.
Yeah, we're also expecting. We just announced that we're gonna have another kid. I'm gonna have a daughter.
Really?
Yeah.
That's dope, man.
Yeah, we did.
Congratulations, bro.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we weren't gonna have any more, but we decided that. Again, minds changed. Everybody thought we were just gonna have one. We thought so too, but we decided that our son needs a sibling. I've had siblings. She has siblings. So we're like, man, before we get too old. So this is the last one for sure.
That's dope, though, man. Well, first of all, she's gonna be the baby, and she's a girl, so she's gonna wrap you around her finger for sure.
From what I've heard, yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that for sure. So I know how that is, man. But no, that's a wonderful thing, bro. Like, congratulations for real, man.
I appreciate that, man.
That's dope, man. So like you said, like, you got to explore, you got to travel, which is amazing. Not only you got to do that, but now you are expanding your family, right? So it's not one of those things where it's quote unquote too late. Like, you got to pretty much do everything you wanted to do for the most part, right? And so I guess I wanted to ask you, like, was there any, I guess, like, quote unquote society pressure, or like maybe pressure from friends, family, trying to kind of navigate or steer you to, like, because right, that takes a lot of discipline. I feel like as well, for you to be disciplined and be like, hey, no, this is what I vision, this is what I want to map out, and then let's go from there. Like, did you kind of deal with any type of, and it might not even been pressure from family or friends, but just society or anything like that? Or was it one of those things like you was good no matter what?
Both. My immediate family, my brothers and sisters and my mom, everybody, they know the type of person I am. So once my mind's made up. But at the same time, like I said, my wife comes from a big family, and as we got older, then we started getting the pressure from everyone. Like, not pressure, just like, when y'all gonna have babies, and y'all need to have one, we're gonna take care of them, because our whole thing was like, nah, we like to do our own thing, travel and all that, and they're like, nah, you guys need to have one, we'll watch them, and so we got pressure, but at the same time we weren't pressured. Like, it was just kind of like throwing it out there. They knew full well that we weren't going to have any, and it came to a shocker when we told everyone, like, because we literally were that couple that were like, nah, they're never having kids. So yeah, there was some pressure, but not too much, because everybody could see, like, nah, they're out there doing their own thing, because I'm not gonna lie, my life is a completely different life than someone who had kids young. You know what I mean? Like, I had that freedom. You can't just get up and go with kids, you gotta plan, you got babysitters, you got this, and even when you do leave, half the time you're spent missing them, so it's not even that fun. So when we go out somewhere, we were sitting at dinner, we're just looking at pictures on our phone of our son, like, man, let's just go home, let's just go back, it's not even worth it. So when we're on vacation, same thing. The last time we went on vacation, we ended up taking 2 separate flights because we just got this weird feeling. You know what? If something happens on this plane, both of us will be going down. So my wife took a different flight. Stuff like that is what trips us out. You know.
Yeah, no, I can relate because I know my wife, she would get annoyed with me at times because when my son was first born, and actually not even just with him, just with all the kids, like I will always be like, like we'll be out and that's my focus, like what they're doing, are they okay, you know? So
Yeah, for sure. I'm an overthinker and over planner, so I'm always like, I'm 10 steps ahead of everything. Like I'm figuring out, okay, like what are we gonna do? How's he gonna do this? He's walking around. I see the card, 30 feet away, and he's walking over here, and like my mind is constantly just rolling, like it's nonstop. Doesn't turn off.
No, I definitely can relate to that, bro. So how did you prepare your real estate like business, I guess, and like transition that into parenthood? Like, did you have to kind of adjust your schedule? I don't know exactly how long you've been doing real estate, but I'm just imagining, because obviously real estate, right? Like, I'm sure there's times where it's like you're working 7 days a week type of situation. Like, so like, how were you able to, I guess, prepare for that?
Well, to be honest, man, I used to work in the oil field for years, so this is almost like a part time compared to that.
Oh yeah.
I used to be gone for sure 2 weeks at a time, come back for one. Sometimes I would cancel my days off, so I'd be gone 2 months or whatever. But when she was pregnant, I told her, look, like once he's here and the day that he tells me like not to leave, like daddy don't leave, like that's the day that I'm gonna quit. But luckily before that things got slow. It happens in the oil field, and as things slow down, you get laid off. It's just part of working out there. You got to go find another job. Well, when I got laid off the last time, I said, you know what, man, I'm done with this. Like, I got a son coming. I don't want to start somewhere new. I wasn't going to finish anyways. So my wife is used to this of me work. Because, again, anybody who knows me, like, I'm a workaholic. Anything I do, I put 110%, and I don't take no. Like, whatever I got to do to get it done, I get it done. I'll sacrifice whatever I need to do it. But and my wife knows that about me. So once I got to this business, I still give it all. It's less time, but it's just, you don't turn it off. Just, it's the biggest purchase of people's lives. So if you text me at 9:00 at night or call me, I'm gonna answer the phone. If we're at dinner, I'm gonna answer the phone because it's important to you. And I treat everybody like they're my only customer. And little do you know, I have like 8, 9, 10 other people. Yeah. But I'm always gonna answer the phone, or not answer the phone per se, but I'm gonna answer your texts, your emails, quick. So the oil field, once you're home for the week, you're home, you're relaxing, you're chilling. Yeah. Real estate, you do your own clock out. It's on all the time. So there's really was no transition to answer your question, because I had been doing way more work than before.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and that's why I came home, because I didn't want to be out there. I have a lot of friends that are out there. They love their kids and everything, but they don't see them very much. They wish they could, but they got to pay the bills. You know what I mean? And I didn't want to do that, man. I didn't want to miss out on my son's childhood. Yeah. So I did come home. I did adjust, if you want to say, but I can't work a regular job, bro. 8 hours a day and clock out, that's not me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like too, like in a weird way, for most people, like it might be difficult for a work-life balance. But for you, that work, like you say, using the oil field, which was you're constantly gone. So compared to that, like this is kind of a cakewalk, right?
Yeah. It's not a cakewalk, but I get to come home every day. I sleep in my bed.
Yeah.
Even if I just to come home and eat dinner with my wife and son is way better than, working 17 hours, going to a hotel room, eating gas station food, and going to bed and waking up at 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Over and over and over and over. Just this, when you work out there, the simple things in life is what you take for granted. So, like I said, sleeping in your bed, eating a home cooked meal, just hanging out for 20 minutes with your neighbor. Like I didn't have none of that before I, before I started working here. So, yeah, it's a blessing for me, and it's less. It's not physical neither. So.
Yeah, no, because I know actually a couple people that talked about, like, oh man, the oil field, it's like, pays really well, this and this. And so just hearing the other perspective, right? Like, because I always hear, and they're trying to get in, but just they heard all the good stuff, like how much money you make, this and this, and just to hear the other side of it is like, dang, okay,
Yeah, yeah.
could,
The people who haven't been there that long or have never been, they see the money, but I'm gonna tell you, it gets old real quick. Like,
you know,
yeah, the money's there, but it's not that much money that they think.
mm,
And what you sacrifice, most people, let's say if 10 people get hired, maybe 2 or 3 will stick with it. The others, they'll just last. I've seen people quit that day. I've seen people quit a week. Like they don't last very long, man, because the hardest part of the job is not the physical labor, it's being away from home. That's the hardest part of the job. Everybody who has families, they want to come out here and make money, but I'm like, you're gonna sacrifice basically your family time to make money. Because
yeah,
I know you go to football games, you go to baseball games, you're gonna miss birthdays, holidays, you're gonna miss deaths, you're gonna miss funerals, you're gonna miss everything for a paycheck. And
mm,
once it comes down to it, oh, my son's birthday's, tomorrow. You think I can have off? I'm like, no, sorry, man. You can celebrate when you get back, or you should have celebrated before you left.
yeah,
That's how it is, man. You know what I mean?
dang, that's
Yeah, it's
that's
tough. It's a tough business, bro. So,
yeah,
and that's why not a lot of guys last,
yeah.
and that's why a lot of them are divorced and don't talk to their kids. Like it's rough, bro. And that's why I got up. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna be a part of that statistic.
Yeah, yeah, man. So, do you feel then, with your experience, your maturity, just the way you think and process, it has not that you're better than anyone or anything like that, but it's giving you an advantage in raising, I would say your child, but kids now, right, with your daughter on the way, while being able to run, your business in a sense, because you're doing real estate, but you're your own boss in a sense, because you have to set up the schedule and things like that.
Yeah, man. I mean, you just gotta have self discipline, bro. If you don't have self discipline, it's you're not gonna go very far. If you need someone on your back to tell you what to do, how to do it, and if you don't have that mindset, that lion mentality of, because if you don't sell, you don't make a check. So it's straight 100% commission. If you don't have that, also there's other things, right? But the main thing is self discipline. If you don't have it, you're not gonna make it in this business, because I could sit all day on my desk, mess around online, watch Netflix, and get nothing done, and no one's gonna tell me anything.
Mm,
But when paycheck time comes, if I didn't do anything, then I'm not gonna get anything. So
yeah,
that's what I like about this business is, like I said, I've always been 100%, 110%. So things like the oil field, all you're gonna get is a raise. If I work hard, I'll become supervisor, get a couple dollars raise. I don't have to work as hard as everyone. But out here, the sky's the limit, and when you work hard, only you benefit, not everyone else.
yeah,
So you're on a team, but the harder you work, the more benefit for yourself compared to, let's say, if you worked, anywhere else and you're getting paid by the hour, you're just gonna get maybe a raise every 6 months, and that's not
yeah.
really gonna be much. And you're working hard every day, or you can work hard every day and it make a difference every time. So that's the difference that I like.
I like that, man. So what is, because there is fathers out there now, guys. Because let me make sure I throw this out there. This is for Texas. We are in Texas, so if you're in Cali, my Cali people, and even some of my New York people, this does not necessarily pertain. It might be a little bit, but not completely. So with that being said, man, what's like probably the biggest myth you hear from people that are like skeptical about buying or not sure if they even want to go that route?
The biggest myth, bro, that I could probably say is everyone thinks they need like buku money to put as a down payment, bro. They think they need 15, 20,000 or whatever, and also the second myth is that they need like an 800 credit score, and that I tell everyone like, man, if you knew someone that was in real estate, you would know the answer right away. To get into a home, especially here where we're living in San Antonio and in the area where you live, where there's VA veterans, I've gotten people into homes as little as $600 for veterans, and then for a regular first-time home buyer who hasn't been in the military, 3.5% of the home's value is all you need, and a 580 credit score. That's it. And then also the big thing is 2 years of work history, but a lot of them, they're like, nah, well, my uncle told me that I needed, 15,000. I'm like, dude, man, maybe in his situation, because some people do.
Yeah.
But you have to, everyone's situation is extremely different than others.
Yeah.
So you have to, like, it's the same thing renting an apartment. It could cost this person, so many deposits because of their history, and this person nothing because their history is good. So everyone is different, but you have to talk to the right person in order to find that out. You can't just go off what your Theo said because that was what happened to him. You gotta ask questions. Yeah.
No, that's real, man. So what is probably I guess I would say what's one of the coolest stories, if you have any, as far as just helping someone be able to get a home or whatever the case is. Maybe they didn't think they could, or maybe they got the home that they kind of was waiting on, that they didn't know if it was going to close, or like, do you have any of those stories, bro? Or maybe even the opposite, right? Where everything was good, or they thought it was good, and they failed to do whatever it is that they need to do.
No, I mean, I have a bunch of stories, but I mean, I will say that there's not many in particular that stick out because they're all like awesome stories, as far as like just like the feeling that you get when you get someone into a home that they've never owned before, like first time home buyers, and just to see the happiness on their face when they get pre-approved and then we take a home off the market, like you can tell that it's pure joy. Like you know that you're changing their lives, and they're so excited for it, it's like a feeling that like it's not about selling homes or anything. It's about changing this family's life or this individual's life, because there's families like y'all's family, there's individuals, there's people who are just graduating from college, there's military, but just the fact of getting them into a home that they thought that they couldn't get. They walk in or they call me or whatever the case is, and yeah, I just thought, I'd ask, I know I can't get it, this and that. I'm like, well, why have that attitude? Like, what makes you have that attitude? They're like, well, like I said, my Theo, he told me, and I said, look, I'm the professional here, trust me, let's see what we got, and we'll go from there. And then a lot of the times it's like, look, man, you can buy a home. They're like, what? For real? I'm like, yeah, like, all you need is this, and this. Oh, I got all of that. See, I told you. And then the when they light up their eyes, and it's just an awesome feeling, man, because you know that they're super excited, super stoked, and super grateful. Thank you. So you're changing someone's lives, and I have lots of stories like that. Yeah.
That's dope, man. That's amazing.
And that's what to me is like worth it, man. Like putting in all this time and all this work, and then on closing day when y'all are signing all those papers and getting the thank yous and all that, like that's why this job is awesome, because you get that feeling.
That's dope. So for those, as they're thinking about getting a house, obviously like I said, we're in Texas, so it just depends, but I'm sure
California is going to be a little bit more expensive, bro.
Yeah, I was going to say California for sure going to be more expensive, for sure. But I was going to ask, what is like the three, because this probably can go no matter where you live, like what is the three, I guess, like don't do's type of thing? Doesn't mean you can't get a house, but it might make it more difficult. Like if there's like three, like don't, like if you're really serious trying to get a house, don't do X, Y, and Z. Like what probably are those three things?
The three things is one, don't be late on your payments, because that'll hurt you. Um, Two, your debt to income can't be too high. So it can't be more than, let's say, 45%. So if just to break it down in simple numbers, if you make $1,000 a month, you can't have more than $450 in bills, because they're looking at that ratio to make sure that you can make a home payment. And then the third would be, just keep your credit in decent standings. It doesn't have to be excellent, just decent. Of course, the higher the credit you have, the better interest rate you'll get. But there's like tiers, like levels. So if you're like a 700 and you go to like a 750, you're still in that same level. So it doesn't really make that much of a difference, right? But the debt to income is a big thing, man, because people will co-sign for somebody, not realizing that when you co-sign someone, that's on your debt. That's and a lot of people don't understand that. They'll come back and I'll tell them, well, how much you have in bills and this and that, and they'll tell me, and we do their application on their credit, and they're like, no, it says it here you have another vehicle, and they're like, oh, no, that's my sister's car, like I just co-signed for her. I'm like, man, that's your car. Co-signing is if she defaults on that loan, you're responsible.
It falls on you.
Yeah. So what I tell everyone is like, what you're doing essentially is you're asking to borrow X amount of dollars from a bank, and the bank wants to know everything about you to make sure that they can get their money back. This is a business. Like if your home costs $100,000 and you're asking to borrow $100,000, that bank wants to know, does Sean pay his bills on time? How much money does he owe to everyone? This, and this, and to make sure that they're going to get their return on investment. So when you break it down like that, everyone's like, okay, I get it. But most people don't think like that. They're like, I don't understand why they don't want to just approve me. I'm like, there's a lot of factors involved, and you got to put yourself on the other side of it. And I tell them, if you wanted a friend that wanted to borrow $1,000 from you, and you find out that they owe 3 other friends $1,000, you'd be like, hey, what's up? Like, I heard you owe Sam, Jill, and Mike $1,000 each too. So that's how it is basically in a nutshell.
I like that, man. So, I got 2 more questions. So my
do your thing, man.
Second to last question is, what would you say to someone that, because like you said, like it's what we talked about earlier as far as like just having kids, like waiting basically, right? What would you say to someone that almost feels like, I guess, pressured, right, in the sense of like, am I missing out, or dang, like, you know what, I'm 33 years old, like I'm supposed to, already have my family established. Like, I guess what could you tell them just to encourage them as far as, from your journey, from your experience, and how you've been able to kind of map everything out the way that you wanted to?
I don't know, man, because mine was a little different than a lot of people. There's a lot of people in my situation too, but it's different though, because that question that you're asking sounds like it's coming from someone who wants kids and who's been wanting kids. Like me, I didn't want kids until I actually decided, and it only took me a couple months, and then boom, we're pregnant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So wanting a kid and not getting one, that's tough. That's a tough question, because it sucks when you have everything and you're missing, like I said, that one piece, and you're trying to get that one piece. I would just say you gotta stay positive, man. Like, you're already blessed with everything else. Like, then your next blessing will come.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, great things take time. It doesn't happen overnight. Success or anything like that doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, discipline. Same thing with that. Like, if you have any questions or doubts or anything, you just gotta, hey man, I'm here for a reason. I'm in this spot for a reason.
Yeah.
It'll happen eventually. Like, I've always been that way. Like, look, it's bound to happen. It's gonna happen.
Sure.
And everything has. I've just been extremely lucky in my case, but I've had some ups and downs. But for the most part, I've always been like, hey, it's gonna happen eventually.
No, and what you said actually is right. Like, honestly, I should have. Your answer still answers it regardless. But I should have more so said feeling the pressure, like not even necessarily wanting, because I know those people
Yeah.
as well, right? Where they're kind of fine where they're at, but it's
Yeah.
almost like people make it feel like, hey, you're missing something, right? Like you need to hurry up and
Yeah.
have your family type of
Yeah. Well, see, and like I got that from a lot of people, bro. But I felt like they just wanted me to have kids because they have kids. You know
yes,
what I
yes,
mean? Like,
that's what I was
oh, you
trying.
need to
Yeah,
have kids. You know, I'm like, why? So like, I see that like, kids are awesome. But,
yeah,
I didn't understand the love until I had my
yeah,
son, but I knew about the love. I just didn't fully understand it, but I knew that, and that's why I waited so long because I was like, I know once I have my son, like I am not going to get a full night's sleep ever again the rest of my life. Like I knew that. Like I knew I was going to love my son unconditionally.
yeah,
I knew my life was going to change, and I just didn't want that. I knew what was on the other side, and I wasn't ready to give all this stuff up yet.
mm,
And everyone who was, like, you guys need to have kids. I'm like, you just want us to have kids so like we can all do stuff together, which is still cool. But
yeah,
I didn't want that yet. So, and we still have friends that don't have kids and stuff, but they're all slowly starting to have kids. But
yeah,
yeah, I just felt like, yeah, some of them were just saying, yeah, y'all should have kids, and it was just not what we were even thinking about. It wouldn't even affect us, honestly.
no, it's true, it's true, man. So, I guess my last question. I was
Ask all
trying.
the questions you want, bro. I got time.
No, no, it's basically, bro, it's just as far as from your career, from your experiences, just all the different things the ups and downs, um, just in general. Like what I guess, what are some lessons, or if you only have one thing you could really think of, but what are maybe some lessons from your career or your experience that you hope to pass down, not just to your son, but to your soon daughter as well? What is some of those
I mean, there's a
lessons?
lot, man. There's a lot
Okay,
that
I'll say top three. How about that?
uh, uh, I mean, one is like my mom. She, we're well mannered as kids. That's one thing that I try to incorporate every day with my son. Make sure he says, "Yes, please," "No, thank you," "Yes, sir," and all that stuff. Because to me, it's very, very crucial um, when it comes to when they're outside with other people, or when we're at restaurants or wherever we're at. Like, I just want to have a well mannered child. Like I don't want him to be screaming. Sometimes he acts up, he's cranky or whatever. But to me, that goes a long way. Discipline. Like
Mm,
I understood. I had chores. Um, I'm not saying I'm gonna be like a military guy. To me, as a child, that incorporated a lot of that into my life as an adult. So I'm hoping to have the same. It may or may not. I don't know. I'm winging adult. I mean, I'm winging fatherhood. You know what I mean? So I grew up without a father, so I'm winging it.
yeah.
But my mom and some of my father figures incorporated that. So that's one thing. Like hard work, discipline, um, and just being like a man of your word. Like
Mm,
if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. If I say I'm going to call you, I'm going to call you. I'm not going to just, hey, I'm going to call you and then I don't call you. Like I'm real big on that. When I want someone to mention my name, if I die and then they're talking to my son years later, and like, man, I knew your dad, bro. Like that dude, anything that guy said, like he would do. Like he was a man of his word. He was a good dude. Like that's basically all I want, is to have good stories for him, and for him to be proud of me of stuff like that.
oh man, I like that, bro. So before I want you to plug in some of your stuff in for those that's in Texas, San Antonio. I'm gonna make sure I put his information so y'all can tap in, because what he's saying is true, guys. He was amazing for us and my family, just through the whole process. But I like to always make sure I give flowers, man. I always give the flowers to my guests, bro. So one, I just want to say I appreciate your time for sure. And then just hearing you, man, and hearing some of your story, I think it's amazing what you're doing, because basically what you was describing to me, at least, when you were talking about just the way you want your son to carry himself, be able to be respectful, things like that, and chores. And I just look at it like you want to make sure you're not just your son, but your family has structure, right?
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
if there's no structure, there's always going to be chaos. And so just seeing that, and then the fact that again, we're all winging it in a sense, because there's no perfect father, there's no perfect fatherhood situation, none of that. But the fact you're doing that, and at the end of the day too, you're already doing much more than what your dad did, right? Like your dad wasn't present at all, and the fact that you're already breaking those chains, breaking those cycles, man, is dope and amazing. So, I salute you for that, for sure, bro. And and then the fact that also your wife understands that about you, right? And she loves that about you, and she embraces that. Like that's an amazing thing, bro. So what you're doing is amazing. Just keep building what you're building. I'm sure you're gonna build like a real estate empire or something like that. But yeah. Hey, but before y'all had to talk to the operator, I was able to get to call him. Like before you had to get to the secretary. Like I was able to just call him up. So
you'll always be able to just call me up, bro. You got my number. You always have it. Cause like I said, that's how I am. Like once I'm a friend for life. I don't. Like I said, if I say I'm gonna call you, I'm gonna text you, I do exactly that. I don't just disappear on you. And like, as far as my son, like it's not all about discipline or anything. I do everything for him, give him whatever he wants, but at the same time, I just want to make sure that he knows how important things are, and understands that hard work is what gets him the things, not just. It doesn't come to you just because you want it. You gotta work for it. Yeah.
No, that's good, man. And so, real quick too, man, let the people know where they can maybe find you at, either social media, website, whatever the case.
I mean, I got social medias, man. I'm not really that big on I don't know how to shout them out, but I'm on Facebook.
Okay,
Facebook. Look up my name, Wes Sandoval. Okay. I'm on Instagram too. And then, straight up phone number, man, 210-865-3919. You can call me, text me. That's really my main source. I'm always on the phone. You guys have any questions about anything, I'm here to answer them. Even if you're just questions, to me, it's not about, I'm not going to waste my time if you ain't buying. Nah, it's, sometimes it takes a year, 2 years, 3 years for people to make a decision. And, so I'm just here to just guide you in it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, and I'm not gonna put his number on social media, y'all. So if y'all didn't listen, I will. But I will probably get his Facebook and put that so you guys can send him a message. I know you're not big on social media, but do you read your messages on Facebook and stuff like that?
Yeah, I read them all. Yeah, I read them all. I'll blast my number on there anyway, so whatever you want to do, it don't matter. But yeah, just plug in my Facebook. I guess I'll send it to you, and then go from there. But like I said, man, it was good talk, man. I appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you, bro. For real. And like always, guys, like always, you don't have to be perfect, but you always have to be present. See you guys on the next one.